For Gordon Elliott, Davy Condon taking the ride. Champagne Fever, the winner of the Champion Bumper last year. Ruby Walsh riding for Willie Mullins. Cheltenham, Richard Johnson for his boss Philip Hobbs. Dodging Bullets, Paul Nichols's only representative in this, Daryl Jacob taking the ride. Number 5 is Fire King, Liam Treadwell riding for Daniel Steele. Then we have Jezki, could be a big contender in this. Robbie Power really fancies him, was on the morning line this morning and very confident. Jessica Harrington trains him. He's wearing the second colours for JP McManus because the first colours being worn by My Tent or Yours. AP McCoy says this is his best chance of the week, and Nicky Henderson is the trainer. Ostentation is number 8, Will Kennedy. Alistair Littledale's first Cheltenham Festival runner, that is. Peak Sue is number 9, Paul Townend riding for Willie Mullins. And Puffin Billy, number 10 for Oliver Sherwood. We heard all about him, Leighton Aspel riding. River Maid, Nicky Henderson's been saying all week, don't rule this horse out. Barry Gerrity rides, and Atout could be anything, this horse. Willie Mullins again the trainer, and Davy Russell the man on board.
Well, Claire, another one of the subplots in this
novice event, Grade 1. And 2 greys, Champagne Fever and Peak Sue, as they come forward. Cheltenham Roar sends them on their way. The festivities are up and running, and in the William Hill Supreme Novices hurdle, Champagne Fever was the leader over flight number 1, followed by Atout in second place. My Tent or Yours, the favourite, third in the white cap. Light blue jacket, Cheltenham, followed by River Maid, and then Jezki. The other grey, Peak Sue, to the outside. Then, of Causes, Puffin Billy. Dodging Bullets in green sleeves is further back, and out the rear of the field, the 2 outsiders, Ostentation and Fire King. So on the run now towards flight number 2, which is right in front of the stands, and it's Champagne Fever by a couple of lengths to Atout in second place, Ireland 1 and 2, followed by My Tent or Yours and AP McCoy in third place on the inside of Cheltenham as they take flight number 2. Jezki was next from River Maid on the inside. Cause is also up the inside, Dodging Bullets wider. Peak Sue is further back from Puffin Billy, and then the 2 outsiders, Fire King and Ostentation. So making their way towards the back straight and on a longish run to flight number 3, and the field would be about 15 lengths first to last, and it's Champagne Fever that leads the way. My Tent or Yours going off the 15-8 favourite here. The leader, Champagne Fever, at 5-1. Jezki also at 5-1. Atout is tracking Champagne Fever. Then My Tent or Yours on the near side of Cheltenham, followed by River Maid and Dodging Bullets. Then Jezki and Causes, followed by Peak Sue further back, and then after Peak Sue was Puffin Billy, as they now continue along the back straight on towards the next. Champagne Fever and Ruby Walsh by a couple of lengths to Atout and Davy Russell in the Gigginsdown colours in second, the maroon and white jacket. My Tent or Yours taking a keen hold in third on the inside of Cheltenham. Then River Maid behind these as they jump the next. Dodging Bullets not too far behind them from Jezki. Then Peak Sue further back in the field. Puffin Billy is held up. Causes is now rousted along towards the inside outer shot as they run left-handed and head towards the flight going up the hill. They're well grouped together here, and it's Champagne Fever who's made it all so far from Atout, followed by Cheltenham. My Tent or Yours right on the inside has travelled very powerfully indeed. Dodging Bullets has moved into 5th place on the outside of Jezki. Then River Maid behind these. Further back is Puffin Billy. Cause is still under some pressure on the inside, and out wider is Peak Sue, and the other 2 are tailed off. They're about to head down the hill towards 3 out in the William Hill Supreme Novices hurdle, the first race of the 2013 Cheltenham Festival, and it's Champagne Fever by a length and a half to Atout. Look at My Tent or Yours. He's pulling McCoy's arms out at this point as they run towards the third last. Champagne Fever didn't get very high, neither did Atout in second place. My Tent or Yours under a motionless McCoy in third. Jezki moves into 4th from Puffin Billy. Dodging Bullets coming under pressure. This is the second last. Champagne Fever on the right. My Tent or Yours is cruising up just to within a length or so of the lead. Puffin Billy was untidy behind the leaders. Atout is towards the outside. Jezki's in behind them, waiting in the wings, and they've kicked away from the others. They turn for home. Champagne Fever is kicked for home. Goes a length and a half clear under Ruby Walsh. Walsh, but stalked by his friend and rival AP McCoy on My Tent or Yours. Jezki is switched to the far side as they race towards the final flight. Champagne Fever is joined by My Tent or Yours. Then Jezki on the far side. Champagne Fever won't lie down without a fight here. My Tent or Yours has suddenly got to find something, and Champagne Fever is too game, too determined, and wins. Champagne Fever, Ruby Walsh salutes the crowd, beat off My Tent or Yours, who didn't find so much up the hill. Then Jezki in third, followed by Atout, Puffin Billy, Peak Sue, Cause of Causes, River May, Dodging Bullets, and Cheltenham, and Ostentation pulling up, and also Fire King pulled up. What a start for Ruby Walsh here. He makes all the running on the Willie Mullins train, Champagne Fever. He looked vulnerable going to the last. My Tent or Yours was cantering, but he couldn't go by.
A delayed start to the Cheltenham Festival 2013, and Ruby Walsh was in no mood to hang about. He set a fearsome gallop here on Champagne Fever, and what a game horse kept finding for him. AP McCoy on My Tent or Yours. The horse was keen early on, was still keen coming to the second last, but couldn't pick up and find the acceleration required up that hill, and Champagne Fever hangs on. Ruby Walsh gets the festival off to a winning start for Ireland and for Willie Mullins. A terrifically game success for this grey horse, and My Tent or Yours just not good enough when it came down to it. Alice Plunkett is now with the winning jockey, Ruby Walsh.
Ruby, what a start.
Magic. He just came alive the last fortnight. He didn't ride any work last week, but I was watching him on the curve with Willie, and we both kind of looked at each other from 100 yards away. His work was just scintillating, and Patrick has always maintained he was a 2-miler, and he's an out-and-out galloper, and he was dead right. He jumped like a stag. He travelled really well. He wasn't doing a whole lot in front, and I knew AP was coming to me. I could sense, I could hear the crowd revving up. I said it must be the favourite coming, but in fairness to me, when AP got to him, he stuck his head down and away with him again.
Very rarely do we see you make all at the Cheltenham Festival. We like to see you creep and appear there, but you were happy enough.
Yeah, he's a galloper. He's a huge cruising speed.
Listen, a great big day. You got Hurricane Fly to come. Well done.
Well, the pressure's off now.
The SP of the winner, Champagne Fever, is 5-1. Now remember, this morning that was as big as 8-1. It is a good result for the punters. I don't see too many happy bookmakers around, even though the favourite has been beaten. The favourite was in fact second, number 7, My Tent or Yours, the 15-8 favourite. Third was number 6, Jezki, at 5-1. If you can hear the cheers around, you can hear just how popular a winner Champagne Fever was. There's a difference of opinion what his target will be at the festival next year. William Hill had him going for the Arcourt at 7-1, so too are Boyle Sports at 6-1, and Paddy Power at 8-1. Stan James are hoping he goes for the Champion Hurdle, will be 10-1 for that, and Coral are also 10-1. Champagne Fever for the Champion Hurdle, with My Tent or Yours at 12. But today he wins the William Hill Supreme Novice Hurdle at 5-1.
And this is one of the great iconic images of the Cheltenham Festival. The winner returning down the long walkway, receiving the adulation of the crowd. It's strike one for Ireland, and the Irish Challenge plays such an important part in making this event what it is. And Ruby Walsh, he faced the decision as to which horse to ride. He rarely gets it wrong, and he's picked spot on again. 3 of Willie Mullins plus 1 of Paul Nicholls. He went for the horse with proven festival experienced Champagne Fever, and he ground them all, including My Tent or Yours, into submission. Great stuff, and no man more popular here than the winningmost Cheltenham rider of all time, Jim.
Well, I mean, everything about the race is quality. It was a fantastic contest, Graham. There were no excuses, and the best horse won, albeit narrowly. He looks a fantastic specimen. Let's hope we see him back for another 2 or 3 years to come.
I'm sure we will. It's Ruby Walsh's 35th Cheltenham Festival winner, and it was gained with a really measured, attacking, front-running ride. Bookmakers needed My Tent or Yours beaten. They've got him beaten, but the runner-up has run a tremendous race. He's travelled beautifully. Great tracker shots from the inside. In second, Maroon, Davy Russell hard at work on Atout. Robbie Power still fancies his chances in the second JP McManus colours on Jezki, and at this point you couldn't put the odds on paper. Surely it had to be Stork, Jump the Last and Pounce for My Tent or Yours, but the first signs of unease, Jim, as they approach the final flight.
Yeah, but he still jumped it well, upside, maybe even nosed ahead for a stride or two. But the other horse, you saw him flicking his ears on the way back in. Maybe Nick's still a little bit green, a little bit lazy, and digs deep.
Tony McCoy will be tearing his hair out. So many times he's been second in this race on some really classy horses. So many times he's committed early, only to be overhauled by Walsh. This time, he's used Walsh's back as his target, and he's not been able to go by him.
Absolutely fantastic slow-mo shot. Charlie Swan patented that Istabrack right-hand whip salute. I don't know what's going through McCoy's mind, but this could be emblematic of the entire week. It's Mullins and Henderson, two superbly prepared, well-fancied horses, and this big, lengthy, gorgeous grey is highly likely to come back to Cheltenham for years to come.